Hello! So, I'm back with another video. Today we are setting up August. So, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more simple for this month. I spent a lot of time on most of my spreads, all of my spreads for last month, and I just needed something a little bit more chill, so I decided to do flamingos. So here you can see me messing up, redrawing, messing up, just trying to get a good outline and just like a good basis for where I wanted everything on the page. I really love doing these small watercolor pieces for the cover pages of my spreads. I started off the flamingo with just a really light pink wash, and then I start darkening up the spots that I'm going to want to be a little bit darker or shaded. And I just kind of keep putting on layers until I get the effects that I want. I wanted it to be a little bit loose and have some texture and variability, not only with the actual lines that I was using, but with the colors as well. So I use a mixture of kind of more peachier pinks and more pink pinks, I guess more red pinks, as well as some more purple colors. I think with watercolors, I always try to start by laying down a foundation and then build up from there. I have definitely spoken about this before, but I have a hard time waiting. Patience is difficult for me, so I often add more color to things that are still wet from before and end up getting effects that maybe I didn't want in the first place, but you can always work with it. Just put more color on top. It's fine. I add a little bit of white gouache here, and I kind of wish that I had stuck away from the white gouache. I do need to add white watercolor to this palette so that I have a watercolor option with white instead of the gouache, because the gouache makes it a lot more opaque. Then I just kind of keep layering stuff, doing the small details. I think I really only work with this one small brush the whole time, but I found that it really did everything that I needed, so. I had a lot of fun doing this painting. It was just a fun little experiment. So here I go in with a little bit of my Prismacolor colored pencils just to add a little bit more texture. I was planning on going in and really refining a lot with my colored pencils, but I really enjoyed the look that I got from just the watercolors, so I kept it. I also added some shiny white paint, and that kind of gave it a little bit more texture. So this is my quote page. I really only use these 3 colors for my whole spread this month. They are the Crayola Super Tips. That's all they are. That's what they're called. So I just thought this quote was cute. It says, "Be a flamingo, stay balanced, stand by your flock, and always be fabulous." And I tried kind of blending the super tips together. Word of caution, this definitely bled through. It not only bled through to the other side of the page, but all the way through that page to the page before that. Does that make sense? Yeah, it was a lot. But it's fine. I have a spread that I'm going to do there. It's actually going to be my next week's video. So you'll get to see how I strategically collage over that. I wrote August with my colored pencils and did the same style of shading technique because I thought it was really pretty, but I wanted it to be a little bit softer to not distract from the piece. So I actually lost all the footage of me doing my monthly calendar, which is a bummer, but really all I did was a little bit of wash of watercolor at the bottom to make like a pink sunset effect, and I just made 7x7 boxes and wrote August and then the names of the days alternating those 3 pen colors. So for my mood tracker, I am drawing out 31 feathers, 1 for every day, that I will get to color in. So I'm doing something a little bit different this month. I have been doing kind of like feelings trackers where I'll track, a bunch of different feelings, and this month I really just wanted to kind of zone in on my mood, whether I'm happy or just kind of like meh or upset on a certain day is what I want to track a little bit better this month. So that means I'm also tracking a little bit different in my habits. Obviously, pain isn't a habit. And then instead of working out, I put activity. So I have kind of a high to low scale where I will track whether my activity was high and whether my pain was high, or medium or low on any given day. And then Alfie decided that he wanted to plan, so a little Alfie time. So these pages are kind of boring. I am continuing on with this kind of like, I don't know, this weird font that I'm doing, cursive with little swirlies. It's kind of like a whimsical font. I don't know. Gotta add more whimsy to your life, right? Instead of drawing on all of my weekly spreads, I've printed out some pictures of flamingos. I really just found these by doing a Google search. None of these are my photos. I didn't take any of these, not my property, but I thought they were really beautiful, so I wanted to include them in my weekly spreads, and this is a great way to make something a little bit easier. These weekly spreads, I actually did 2. They took barely any time at all, so that was really nice. And then I just used my Tombow dual-sided tape to stick them in. And I actually like the girth that my notebook gains as it gets used. I'm getting towards the end of this notebook, so I'm excited to start a new one, but I can probably at least get through this month, August, with this notebook. Possibly I can get through a whole nother month. We'll see. See how many pages I got, how much journaling I do this month. So for this weekly, I just did my swoopy lettering with the same super tips, and then wrote over the top of them with a 0.25 micro liner. I also paired the pictures together with the background colors. So the first 2 were both very pink and purple, and then these 2 both have hints of green as well as similar colors in the flamingos, kind of that more like peachy pink. So I put these 2 together as well. You can see me trying to decide what I'm gonna do. And I opted to just do these kind of like loose circles and then write the days in pen inside. And I always like to have a little notes section, for things that maybe don't go on a certain day or things that I want to remember. It's always nice to have a little place to put those. All right, so this is the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope your July is really going great and that August will be even better. I put out, bullet journal and art related videos every Friday, so I would love it if you would like and subscribe, and I will, talk to you soon. Thanks again.